Good afternoon, traders. It is Friday, January 22nd, 2016, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Well, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is, in the past 2 days, we have closed out over $32,000 in profitable trades. That's pretty good, I'd say. But the bad news is we are carrying open trade over the weekend negative $19,000. That's all on entries we made today, and that's about the worst bunch of entries I've seen in 3 or 4 months. It's really bad to be carrying $19,000 negative over a weekend. We don't know what's going to happen on Monday, and I just hope we don't get annihilated. That's about the best I can hope. The Dow behaved beautifully. The Dow, I guess, the energy sector climbed last night overnight, and that boosted everything. Dow opened up here very strong, went right up to plus 250 and more at the beginning. Then it fades. Looked like it might be just kind of going to peter out here, but then the buying comes back in, and it ends up closing not on its high, but pretty darn close. It closes up 210 points. So just looking at the Dow chart alone, this looks very strong. Doesn't look like the Dow is wobbly at all. And I'm willing to call the Dow up again on Monday. It looks real good. We're getting farther and farther away from this bottom that I've called down here. I'm saying this is the bottom, this is the bottom. We're moving back up, and today's action would certainly suggest that we are going to continue this move up. The problem for us, and this is oftentimes a problem, when you get a Dow that's opening up, close to 250 points right at the beginning of the day, that gets us into a lot of stocks sometimes right at the tip top, and that's exactly what happened. We got in to 9 new positions today. I mean, we could have gotten in a lot more than that, but we didn't. But we got into 9 new positions. 3 are positive, 6 are negative. Well, that's not a good ratio, but still, that's not terrible. The problem is those 3 positives are just marginally positive, and the 6 negatives are horrible. And I'm going to show you 3 of the most horrible ones in just a second. So, not good, folks. This looks very shaky, and I'm not happy, even though we've closed out $32,000 positive in the last 2 days, carrying negative $19,000 over the weekend. That, well, I'm going to have to try and forget about it over the weekend because it's going to drive me crazy. Anyway, I'll show you what our problem trades were today. These are all problem trades. Another problem here is that I added 12 new stocks to our portfolio over the weekend, and 2 of these horrible positions are brand new stocks. So these are the first trades out of the new portfolio, and they're terrible. This first one is BTU. That's Peabody Energy Corporation. And as I say, the energies were up overnight, so Peabody opens up way up here. 30 minutes into the day, we buy it almost at the top here, and then immediately collapses. It comes down here. I think it was down like negative $11,000 when it gets down here. It does come back, but we are still holding negative $9,000 on Peabody Energy. Just horrible, 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 horrible. Now I'll show you more horrible. This is NAV, another new stock for us. That's Navistar International Corporation. Big gap up, just like Peabody, and just like Peabody, we get in here near the top and it immediately fades. We're holding negative $4,500. Now, the thing is, you look at this, you see that this thing is still closed pretty significantly positive, but it's still a long ways from the top, and the top is where we got in. Show you one more here. This is not a new one I'm showing you. This is NBIX, Neurocrine Biosciences. Good stock for us. We've had a lot of good trades in it, but this was a horrible trade. This thing gaps up massively again this morning. Again, we jump in here right at the top. The instant we get in, it collapses or comes back a lot and kind of fades all day. It's still positive for the day, but it's not looking good, and we're holding negative $4,500 in Neurocrine Biosciences. So Trader Bob is not unhappy, or not happy at all. I'm going to try and forget about it. You guys have a great weekend. I'll try and have a great weekend, and I'll be back here on Monday.